Good morning, how are you? Today I wanted to respond to a lot of comments I got for my awful painting day video that came out. It will be about 2 weeks from when this video comes out, but as I'm recording this, that video came out 2 days ago and I had so many amazing supportive comments that I wanted to make a response video for that. I know we've had a lot of talky videos this week. I promise I will get back to painting next week, but I felt it was important to let you guys know where I am with it now and how I feel about the whole thing. In that video, which I will link over here or here, I still haven't figured out which way it is. It must be here, okay? And in that video, I painted 2 paintings that didn't turn out well. In fact, these were the paintings that I really struggled with. And by the way, looking at this now, they're not bad. They're not the best, certainly. And I can see where I can improve on it now that I've been away from it for quite a while. But at the time, I was really struggling with it emotionally, and I recorded the video as I was doing it. So you got to see my emotions at its rawest form, which I kind of make it a point to record how I'm feeling at that time rather than sugarcoat it and make it look nice, because I know these are the struggles other artists go through and a lot of you guys go through when you try to paint and you have a frustrating bad painting day. And I want you guys to know that you're not alone in this, and I want to know that I'm not alone in this. And you guys were amazing in the comments. Thank you so much. I know I always say you guys are amazing in the comments, but you guys came through for me on like a completely different level. And most of you, if not everyone, said I was being way too hard on myself. And when everyone tells you you're being too hard on yourself, I'm like, that's actually going into my head. That is actually sinking in, that I am being too hard on myself. When it's weird, because when my husband tells me I'm being too hard on myself, or when a friend tells me I'm being too hard on myself, it doesn't really go in. My brain goes, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know about painting, or they're just trying to be nice to me. But when all of you tell me that I'm being too hard on myself, I'm like, you know that case where if you think everyone's crazy, then you're the crazy one? It was that case where if everyone's telling me I'm being hard on myself, then maybe I am being hard on myself. And so thank you so much for that wake-up call. It's exactly what I needed. I am definitely way too hard on myself because I have way too high a standard for myself, and I know that comes from my parents having far too high a standard for myself and me trying to live up to it. And I've now learned the lessons through making that video and then seeing you guys' comment that maybe it's doing me no good to have that higher standard for myself. I think in Japanese society in particular, and probably in Britain as well, we have this thing where we see being hard on ourselves as a way to improve ourselves, as if being hard on ourselves is a good thing. And this situation made me realize that maybe it's not. Maybe it just makes your life harder in your journey to learn a skill. Maybe it gets in the way of you just having a bad day or on a learning curve, and so it's a little bump that you could just get over if you weren't so emotionally distraught like I was. And it was quite funny because I thought I wasn't that emotionally distraught until you guys pointed out that you got way too upset. And I'm like, yeah, I got way too upset about 2 little paintings. So thank you for pointing that out for me as well. I also really appreciated some of the amazing advice that you guys given me on how you guys deal with bad painting days. I don't think it was a bad painting day as much as, for me, it was a bad head day. My head just wasn't in the right place. and all I was focusing was on the nectar. Whereas now I look at these two paintings, the paintings that I painted on the day, I'm like, I can see things that I got right and I can see things that I can improve on, which is a lot better headspace to be in than I was. And you guys reminded me that I am just learning this and it is a learning curve and I'm not supposed to get it right straight away. That's the whole point of learning. That was also an amazing thing to be reminded of. And I want to say, if you are having a bad painting day or you're struggling with it and you're frustrated with how you're progressing or the lack of your progress that you're seeing, then please go back to that video and read the comments, because it will apply to you as well. Inevitably, on those days we're too hard on ourselves, we're expecting too much progress and not seeing enough of the progresses that we are making. And there are also great tips, like somebody said they always paint the same painting twice, so that if one of them doesn't turn out, at least the other one will. I also wanted to update you guys on where I am with the landscape painting, and there's two updates. One is that in my week of not making videos, I actually dedicated a whole day to painting, and I want to show you guys what I did on that day. Normally when I make the daily videos, I only get to paint for 1 or 2 hours, and then I have to spend the rest of the day editing and uploading and doing everything that's to do with making a video and releasing a video. So I never get to spend a whole day painting, and in my whole day of painting I got to paint 9 paintings. These are the paintings that I did on that day. This was the first one. This was on Saunders Waterford hot press. I thought I'd try hot press as well. I think it's a little bit too smooth. I think out of the 3, the hot press, the cold press and the rough, I really like their cold press. And the rest, I just cut up a whole imperial sheet of ashes paper or ash paper into 9 squares and tried to fill them. So I have this waterfall, which didn't turn out great on this side, but I'm really happy with this thing. And I think this was my favorite piece. I really love how the mountain turned out. I love how heavy and imposing it feels. I'm so happy with this. And this is where I actually got to grips the best in terms of creating local values and then just darkening the areas if I needed to make it darker, rather than panic that I put a too dark wash on, because I thought this was going to be too dark, and then I put really heavy colors down. I'm like, no, this is perfect, this is great, and it keeps the local value right compared to the background. Then this, my husband said he really loves the trees. I really hate the trees. It's really interesting to see how what you don't like about your own painting tends to be what other people really like about your painting. But I'm really happy with how the foreground turned out and how I kept the background really simple. This one I kind of got lost a bit. It was a really busy photograph and I tried to simplify it, and I kind of got lost in that process rather than thinking of the overall, but that's okay because I'm painting 9 and I painted some good paintings. And then this was a snowy mountain, which I struggled to show the snow, especially on here, but I'm really happy with how this part turned out and how strong these lines are. And then this, I thought I'll try some architecture, and I think the photo was at a weird angle, and one of the comments I got was that maybe I need to be more careful about selecting better photos, because one of the paintings that I did, just the composition looked slightly off, and that was to do with the photo rather than my ability to paint that photo. And I'm really taking that on board because I don't know anything about composition, and I'm making a note that that is something I need to learn. And then this mountainside, I was really happy with this, and this is where I really amped up the contrast so that this was basically painting a thick layer of the black paint down, and I really loved it. So now I know that if I do a black and white photo, I need to use the full range of the value of the paint, all the way from almost white to very heavy dark black. So I'm really happy that I did a painting day. I feel I'm back on form, I'm back in control of the process, and also that if I paint 9, you're gonna have some good ones that you're gonna like. So I'm in a much better place with my landscape now that I spent a full day just painting away without the pressure of recording or time constraint that involves in creating a video of the process. The second thing I've done is I've noticed that with the Nathan Forks course, the week 3 where you get the colors in, it feels very overwhelming to me, and also like there's a lot that you need to remember, and it's starting to make me feel anxious, and I have to remember a lot of things that's going on while I'm trying to paint. And that's not necessarily the way I want to paint. The way I want to paint is instinctively and wildly and just loose. And whenever I feel like my style or what I'm learning about has got too tight, there's one place I go to, and that's Carla Sonnenheim's courses. If you don't know Carla Sonnenheim, she is a wonderful mixed media artist, but also she has an amazing wide range of online courses that you can purchase. This isn't affiliate at all, and she is amazing at curating teachers and courses that is about just having fun, just painting for the joy of it, and also about going from some warm-up exercises to the process of design and then to the final piece. So really taking you through the whole process that you need to learn to be a fully functioning artist, not just seeing somebody paint something and then copying that painting. I really appreciate that as someone who has 0 art education in her background, is to learn how to be a fully formed, fully dimensional artist rather than just how to do a finished painting. And fortunately, I don't know if this was serendipitous that I decided that for the next couple of years I want to focus on joy and happiness and be myself, but I got an email the next day saying her courses were on sale. I think it'll still be on sale when this video goes out. I will leave a link to her website in the description down below. But it was like 20% off, so I actually signed up to 2 courses. One is a landscape one and another one is a composition one, because you guys commented about composition and that made me realize that's something I need to learn at the same time while I'm trying to learn to paint landscapes. It's both taught by the same teacher. Sorry, I can't remember her name right now. I'll put it up here, and I will also link the 2 courses that I've personally bought this time around. The courses on the website tends to be mixed media, but these 2 that I bought specifically are done by a watercolor artist, so I think that would be more applicable to you guys. But if you guys ever feel like things have got too tight and you just want to be more free and have fun and just go enjoy the process, then I highly recommend checking out the courses Carla Sonnenheim has on her website, because I've taken a lot of her courses. It's where I learned to paint in acrylic. I've done 2 of her year-long courses, and I've done a lot of Lynn Whipple courses. She is bonkers crazy, but I love her and I love the way she paints. It's more like getting to know the artist and their whole creative process and what they do to come up with ideas and all the warm-up exercise they do. It's just a lot more fully rounded teaching experience. It feels like I'm in a really awesome and chilled and laid back art school rather than your typical online courses where they teach you a thing or they teach you how to paint a painting. So definitely check it out if you want to be a more free-flowing artist. If you love your traditional art, traditional forms, traditional way of realistic painting, then don't go to her course because you'll hate her. But if you're more into the explorative, fun, playful way of creating art, definitely check out her website. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I've already watched the first 2 weeks of the landscape course and I'm really excited because it's about mark making. I'm raring to go. So I'm going to explore landscape in that sense first, a little bit more instinctive way and a little bit more emotional way and emotive way. That's it from me for this week. It's been a very talky week, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm in a lot better place, having read your comments and also gone through this week of doing some healing work, of putting all that negative energy that was happening both in terms of my personal life and in my creative life, and just channeling it into sending it out on myself and creating art pieces. So if you ever get stuck in that, I recommend you guys do that. And also in focusing what my intentions are in creative art and creative practice has really helped me just be a bit more myself and feel more comfortable, which I think is a really, really important part of being an artist. I hope it's nice and sunny where you guys are so that you can go outside and go hiking or painting or whatever you normally do on your weekend. Have a great weekend and I will see you in the next video. Bye!